How's it going tonight, guys? Welcome back for another episode of Chapters of Success. Okay, the book that we're going through right now, guys, is Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard. Let me kind of get that a little closer for you guys to see it. Absolutely an amazing book. I love hearing about people going out, they're getting the book, they're enjoying it. They're really just taking themselves to another level by reading that book. Brendon Burchard is, he's a very powerful speaker and an even, I want to say more powerful writer. I really do just love the books that he's written that I've read of his. They're mind-blowing, honestly. Okay, guys, this episode of Chapters of Success is a very, very important one because it's the point in the book where we start going through his 9 declarations for motivation. His 9 declarations for a better life, for a more fulfilled life, for a freedom-filled life. And that's what the whole book is about, is gaining back your freedom, achieving more freedom, and really just being able to live a life of freedom. And it's absolutely amazing, guys. So this chapter, okay, the chapter's name is Declaration 1. And the declaration is, we shall meet life with full presence and power. And I love the direction that he takes us, because I won't lie, the first time I ever heard that chapter, or the title of that declaration, I was kind of like, well, that's kind of cool. I'm excited. And I kind of thought I had an idea of the direction he was taking it, but I really didn't. And so just to start off, guys, all right, I've got my notes here as always because his things of his are golden and I don't want to miss anything. Okay, quote to start off the video: your true home is in the here and now. Your true home is in the here and now, guys. And I couldn't tell you who said that. I've got the author of the quote here, but I can't pronounce his name. I'll just be honest with you. Okay, but so many of us, I want you to think about this. So many of us are wasting our lives. We're wasting our lives because, we're obsessed with the past. We're obsessed with the future. We're concentrated on everything except for where we're at right now. We start thinking about how our life used to be or how we want our life to be, and we just get lost in our thoughts and in our dreams and in our just our remembrance. And it's something that really just takes away from our life. It really just strips us of our life whenever we're stuck focusing on the past or we're obsessed with the future. All right, guys, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't go there. Neither does Brendon. Brendon says that those two places are very important in our lives. They're very important for us to become who we should be, for a couple of reasons. Whenever you are focused on your past, there's 2 reasons that we should be visiting our past. Number 1 is so that we can relive the joyous moments. I'm sure you guys can think of some time in your past that you just absolute joy filled you. Maybe you were spending time with a loved one, a spouse, a child, a parent. All right, and you remember those times with them, and they were near and dear to your heart. And that's a great reason to think about the past, just to remember that. Think about those times, and there's often times where I sit there and I think about, wow, I remember, the times when I was still dating my wife, or I remember our wedding day, I remember the honeymoon, I remember, all these different things that they're just really exciting to remember. They're really fun to remember. Right? The other reason is that we should visit the past is to learn the lessons that we can learn, the lessons that we can glean from past experiences. You've gone through things in your life, whether good or bad, good and bad, guys, that have taught you valuable life lessons. They've taught you things that have shaped who you are today. They've taught, those past experiences have helped you become you. And because of those experiences, you can teach them to other people. And sometimes we just have to reflect on them. You know, not in a negative sense, not in a, I can't believe I made that mistake, but wow, like there was my mistake. Here's what I could have done. So then next time that option comes around, next time that scenario in your life comes around, you can say, hey, I remember this. I experienced this in the past. Well, let me make this choice. Let me make this decision this time. And we learn from it, guys. Two big reasons that Brendan talks about visiting our past. And in the future, again, we should be learning from it, all right? And in this sense, it's not something that we've experienced, but have you ever looked off into the future, said, hey, here's the goal that I want to accomplish, here's what I want to do in the future, maybe it's a promotion, it's a business venture, it is something of that, you know, that degree, and you're just like, well, in order to accomplish that, I need to know this. And you're saying, I need to have this understanding. And because you knew what the direction you were heading, because you knew the goal that you were searching for, you now know that you need to learn a certain trait. You need to learn a certain skill. You need to learn a certain bit of knowledge. All right? The other reason to look to the future is to dream. Dreaming is so important. And if you don't dream, I'm sorry for you. I really am, because I'll be honest, your life is probably dull and bland, and you don't ever feel fulfilled. This isn't necessarily part of his book. This is kind of my own words right now, guys. If you're not dreaming, if you're not making that a part of your life, not to get lost in it, not to constantly have your head in the clouds, okay? But if you're not dreaming, you're living far below your potential. Far below your potential. All right, guys? So those are the two reasons that we should be looking into the future, though. Lessons and dreams. The past is all about lessons and joyous moments. Okay? And so he talks about the importance of that, but then he makes such a huge point. Brendan makes such a fantastic point. And that the reason so many people justify, oh, I'm stuck in the past because I'm trying to learn from it. I'm stuck in the past because back then it was so good. My head is in the clouds because I can't wait for this goal. I can't wait for this achievement. But then they never act in the here and now. We get so stuck in our past and our future that we never realize where we are now and take advantage of these points that we have available to us. We don't take advantage of the opportunities that life is giving us, but life only gives it to us now. Life doesn't say, hey, if you keep your head in the clouds, you'll accomplish a lot. And it doesn't say, hey, if you remember every mistake you've ever made and just dwell on it, yeah, you're going to be really successful. Life says, hey, here's something for you now, in the present. Take it and do with it what you should be doing. The lessons that we learn from the past, the lessons that we learn from the future, we can apply those in the here and now. When we think about the past and we're excited, we're joyous about those memories, we can think about that here and now and say, wow, you know, my wife, I loved how much, you know, how close we were at the beginning of our marriage. Maybe you're at that point where you feel like maybe you've drifted some, but then you think, wow, those were super exciting times. We had so much love. We had so much joy. Let me try to bring that back. Let me try to bring that back here and now. Because you thought about that. You guys get what I'm saying. This is huge. These are things that you can take and apply to your life right now. It's just not stop focusing constantly on other areas and start putting more focus on the here and now. All right, guys? It's to kind of talk a little bit about the consequences of not doing that. It is really what I wanted to do next. And these are, you know, in the book, guys. He talks about the importance of staying focused on the here and now and not getting lost in the future and the past. And because if you get lost in the past, there's so many different issues that you can deal with. And if you get lost in the future, there's different issues. And just to give you a couple. If you're stuck on the past, you know, there's no progress. You're bitter usually. Usually people that are stuck in the past are like, oh, the past was great back in my day, back in my heydays, back when I was young, I was so great, I was a sports all-star, I was the job all-star, I was this, I was that, and it was so much better back in the day. But then and they're always bitter about that. They're always bitter about the here and now though. And so people see them and they say, oh, I don't want to be around you. All you talk about is how good it was back then. And it just makes me feel like crap now. But then you get people that their head is in the clouds. They're what we call fantasizers. And in the sense that all they do is they focus on dreams. They say, someday I'm going to be a millionaire. And you're like, that's great. What are you doing right now to accomplish that? And they're like, I don't know, but someday I'm going to be a millionaire. I can picture it right now. I can picture myself in my yacht, sailing on the seas with my captain, sailing me around. It's going to be amazing. I'll be a millionaire. But then you look at their present life, and they're not doing anything to accomplish that. They're not doing anything to take themselves a step closer every single day. They're not even taking like an inch closer. They're not taking a centimeter closer. They're nothing. Nothing at all. They're just like, I don't know, someday it'll be there. Their head's in the clouds. They're fantasizers, but they never actually put the actual work in. Okay? The other issue that we can have when we're not present, guys, is that we have a loss of relationships. You might be wondering why your relationship with your spouse has gotten so bad. Do you ever think about when you guys are together? When you're together, what are you focused on? When you have date night, do you go to the restaurant and all of a sudden you pull out your phone and you say, oh, that's awesome. So how was your day? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And 2 minutes goes by, they haven't said a thing, and you're still going, oh. And you're like, oh, shoot, I just missed everything. Maybe they asked you a question, okay? Or maybe they come to you with an issue, they're trying to talk to you, and you're saying, yeah, and your head's in the clouds. Your head's thinking about tomorrow. It's thinking about the next day. It's thinking about all the tasks that you have to have done. Or it's thinking about, wow, I wish we could go back to the days where like all these issues weren't issues anymore. And all of a sudden, they get done with their needing to talk to you, and they realize that you haven't listened to them at all. They realize that your head wasn't present, your body wasn't present, your mind wasn't present, and in fact, your relationship wasn't even present. Because you chose not to be present. Guys, those are consequences that can come from us not living in the here and now. And I don't want you to experience that. I don't want you to have to go through that. One sec, guys. But I don't want you to ever have to go through that, because life is happening all around you. Life is every single day. Have you ever walked out in the morning just for 2 minutes? 2 minutes just to look off from the horizon and see the sunrise. Maybe just take 2 minutes and just let everything be quiet. Let everything be still. And just look off at the sunset. You ever take that time with your loved ones and just to sit there with them? Turn off the electronics, turn off the TV, turn off the, everything. Stop talking about work, stop talking about the stresses of life, and just sit there with them. Maybe you're lying in bed with your spouse, and rather than trying to think about your day the next day, you just hold them. You hold them close and you just think about, wow, I'm so lucky to be married to such an amazing person. I'm so lucky to be in a relationship with somebody who cares so deeply about me. And when we stop and we focus on those things, maybe again, you're just stepping outside and the birds are starting to wake up and they're chirping, and regardless of whether or not you like the sound of it, everything's peaceful and the birds are they're chirping away. And it's just peaceful though. Guys, life is happening all around us, but we miss it every single day. There's opportunities to serve all around us. That's life. That's living in the here and now. When you live in the here and now, you see those things. You see the chances that are placed before you, that life gives you, that God gives you to serve other people, because you have a gift that some people don't have. And when you live in the present, you get to give that gift to other people because you're aware of their needing that gift. You're aware of your spouse needing your love and you needing theirs. It's absolutely amazing, guys. You know, I really have been focusing on trying to apply this more in my life. And there's times where I just sit there. Just no thoughts going through my head. I really try to empty my mind. That's hard for me too. That is so hard. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, Jonathan, how the heck am I supposed to empty my mind even for 2 minutes? That's impossible. I understand where you're coming from. There's times where I try to do, a little bit of meditation, a little bit just sitting there and focusing and really controlling my thoughts. And it's hard. I can go a couple of seconds before something jumps into my mind. But the process is I push it out. I say, no. That's not where I want my focus to be right now. I want to focus on the now. I don't want to think about what I've got coming on my calendar. I don't want to think about what may have happened yesterday. I just want to be present right now. And I've noticed that as I do that, guys, that I feel better. I feel more fulfilled in my life. I feel more excited, more invigorated, and more motivated. Guys, the natural foe that Brendan says, the natural foe to life. Okay? The natural foe, not something that somebody conceived, not something that just we built in our lives. The natural foe of life is not a distant death. So guys, the enemy of life isn't death, but a detachment from living. And when we're not living in the present, when we're not focused on where we're at right now, we're detached. We're not allowing ourselves to experience life, guys. And I want to read you a little bit out of the book. I try to do this every time. Just a little bit that really, because Brendan's words are way better than my own, to be honest. But this paragraph right here just stood out to me, and I want you guys to really grasp it. It says, the sunshine of enlightenment spreads to those who understand that the moments of our lives must not go unnoticed and unlived. We can feel these warm rays of hope if we make the committed choice not to detach our lives in any way. We mustn't avoid this day's reality or wish for a better one. We must learn to live in reverence to the moment and all we have been given by it and all we choose to give to it. We can choose our roles and responses to the world. So over time, our character and destiny are forged purposefully. From these efforts, we shall rediscover the immensity and freedom and gift that is each and every divine moment spent alive. Guys, there's no better way to say that, but every moment is a gift. Every moment that you're alive is something special. And I want you to experience it. I want you to really just focus on it every single moment. Guys, I do challenge you to stop focusing on the future and the past so much. Stop getting lost in it. Dabble in it just for moments at a time. But I challenge you not to get lost in it. And when you do that, guys, I promise that you'll have a new love for life. I promise that you'll have a new purpose, that you'll have a new meaning, and that your life will feel fulfilled. And that you'll begin to notice the love that you have for others and that others have for you increasing. I promise you that. As long as you can really focus in, and you're not going to be perfect, but focus on living your life in the present, the here and now. I hope that you guys got some value out of this. I hope that this book is changing your life the way it changed mine. I know that it's taken me to a level that I never thought I could be at. I thought I was at a great level, but this book has taken me beyond that. I hope that it's doing the same for you. If you liked it, guys, like it, share it, let me know in the comments. Let me know what I can do to help you out. Tell me some books that you found impactful in your life. Let me know. I really just am here to help pass along this knowledge because it's so important for everybody. It's something that really can change lives, guys. It can help you be extraordinary. And my thing is, guys, I want to help everybody be extraordinary. I don't want anybody to be left being ordinary. Guys, remember, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just a little extra. Thank you for joining me tonight, guys. Look forward to talking to you next Thursday on another episode of Chapters of Success. You guys have a wonderful night.